Good morning, Card Community. It is RJ back with another video. So let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day. I have here from this year's, I believe, Topps Heritage set. It is the stamp insert, just the base one. I know there's a couple colored parallels. Usually shows 4 players of the same team. In this case, our 2 legendary 1980 World Series champions in Mike Schmidt and Steve Carlton, and 2 of the greatest players of today. Although Mr. Hoskins is out on injury all year long, you have Bryce Harper there as well. What I love about this is, for the longest time, this card and another Heritage card, like a throwback design or a throwback highlight card of Mike Schmidt, were cards I needed to pick up because I didn't get them in the few packages of Heritage I ripped. But I kept putting it off, and every once in a while I'd see it on the bay for like a buck or two and think, well, I'll pick it up, and I kept saying, nah, I don't want to. And finally I said, well, just put it up on the tradingcarddatabase.com. You want that card, let's see what happens. And sure enough, I got this for free, other than the cost of a stamp and a couple cards I didn't need. So that's the kind of things I like to do on the tradingcarddatabase.com. Every once in a while I will get a card or two for my Mike Schmidt collection, and this is a brand new one I needed. Got it for free. Loving that. Today's random baseball item of the day. I'm going to show off a card here from 2020. Came out to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the modern Negro Leagues. I say modern because 1920 they formed the first regular Negro League in some time. I mean, just as long as as long as people have been playing baseball, both white and black have been playing it. It was never relegated to one race. So they put out a card set back in 2020 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Negro Leagues, and this is a cool Papa Bell from inside that set. There were many cards of some of the greatest Negro League players, and this one is one of the several Cool Papa Bell cards that came within it. Very famous image of Cool Papa Bell, if you've ever seen any images of him. The reason I show off this card is because I am a huge baseball historian. I read a lot about baseball. I watch videos and films and documentary and everything. I learn as much as I can always about the sport. And I'm sad for one thing that not a lot of sets came out showing off Negro League ball players. In fact, this card set is about 180 cards that came out, like I said, in 2020. It might have been the most extensive release on Negro League players ever created. And it kind of saddens me that more haven't been made. It's probably because the vast majority of collectors do not care about old players. Like, for example, the Conlon collection, 5 sets over 5 years isn't worth anything. Nobody cares. But some of the legendary players of baseball are in that set. Some players who've only ever had one card, which is part of that set, are pictured there. If you want a card of these players, you need that set to get it. So I don't know why more card companies don't manufacture cards of, showing the history of the game, classic cards, classic photos, that kind of stuff. And obviously, again, it's because it won't sell. That's really what it is. No one's going to buy it but crazy people like me. So this is a great, awesome card of Cool Papa Bell from Fantastic Set that highlighted over 100, nearly 180 players, because a lot of players have multiple cards, but over 150 different players of the Negro Leagues past. So that is my random baseball item of the day, and my little pitch to card manufacturers. How about giving us some more historical cards, okay? All right, today's trivia question. Great prize for you to do. An interesting prize, I think. It's a very early Albert Pujols card, one you don't see too often. Hopefully, somebody in their collection is desperate to have this kind of card. It is a card from a game, the 2003 Major MLB Showdown sports card game, 2003, and this is mentioning that his rookie season was 2001, so you can see this is an early Pujols. Doesn't even have the goatee going back then. Our Pujols 2003 MLB Showdown card, very early card in his career, really cool, I think. That is your prize for this question. Other than Jackie Robinson, whose number has been retired by every team in Major League Baseball, what player has had their uniform number retired by 3 teams? Name the person, name all 3 teams, and name the number that was retired by each. Little nod to the question. Not all 3 numbers were the same uniform numbers for this individual. Played with different numbers on different teams. So, who is the only player other than Jackie Robinson to reach 3 retired uniform numbers on teams? Three different teams. All right. Send me an email with the correct answer. I will include my email in the description below, along with the repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer, and we will pick a winner on Sunday. So good luck to everybody there. So today's what I'm going to show off, another cool mail day. Got a lot of things to talk about with the error on certain things that I trade. These are all trades. Well, one's a purchase, but mostly trades. So 2 cards that have a different story about how to trade and what to look for. So this card, Upper Deck 1989, Jose Canseco. This is a variation. There are 2 variations of this card. What is the variation? Almost impossible to tell. If you look close on the American Eagle and the American League logo, you will see it has red and blue in it. They say there is one out there where the eagle and all the trim is just black. There is no color. You can barely see the red and the blue on this one. I had put up that I needed the black and white, just strictly black and white version. Whoever sent me the card sent me this one I already have. So, you take your chances when you're sending it, because people don't pay attention a lot of times to the errors. Sometimes they don't even know there is an error, even though they're listing the cards on the tradingcarddatabase.com. They ought to take a look. But I've had this happen a number of times, especially I'm still collecting all of the Leaf stickers, believe it or not, from the different years. I'm trying to get every variation of the stickers that existed back in the junk wax era for the Leaf. And I still have that problem too, where the logo stickers I'll get don't represent what I'm looking for. I get the same one I already have. So that's a bummer thing. The other one that I'm bummed about is that a common mistake I made is me listing the card I already have as one I need, instead of me clicking the correct variation that I'm looking for. That happened with this card. 1999 Upper Deck Century Legends. This is a set of cards that came out demonstrating the Sporting News' list of the top 50 players of all time. You can see here that George Slister was labeled as number 33. There were other cards in the set highlighting today's players and things like that, but this was supposed to be the top 50 players in the Sporting News' list of the best players of the past century. And on the back, there was a card number, even though number 33 was actually the card. There was supposed to be a card number here, but this is a variation that's had, for whatever reason, put up the Washington Senators W instead of a card number. So this is a variation. I'm still looking for the one without the W, but has the card number on the back. I don't have that one. So I listed it on the tradingcarddatabase.com, but I accidentally listed this one and got this one again. So it's the other thing that's frustrating me sometimes in my collecting goals is I'm stupid and I choose the wrong one sometimes. So that's a little annoying. But now let's talk about some successes. I told everybody in recent videos I'm going to go for something I don't normally go for, because I often think these are silly, but this one kind of piqued my interest as a fun little thing to do. Last year's Allen and Ginter Get That Bread subset or insert set. There's only 10 cards. The Meatball Hero, and I am a huge lover of meatball sandwiches. I really am. So one of the reasons I started collecting this set is because I noticed that this was also in there as one of the sandwiches. So this is one of 6 I have now. There's only 10 in the set. And, I don't think anybody really cares about this. I'm sure there's some people out there, but this one just struck my heart, and it's something I wanted, so I started collecting these cards. That's something I recently picked up in trade. I am still working on last year's Topps Gallery insert, the portrait versions. Interesting, last year Topps Gallery did a short print parallel of several of the stars, and what they did is last year's Topps Gallery, the pictures were actually pictures. They weren't artistic renderings, okay, for your base set. And the short prints were the artistic renderings. And it wasn't like they had somebody painted. It almost looks like they had a computer program that they could make the printout look like a painting rather than an actual photograph. And that's how they short printed them in some cases. But this is an insert set called Portraits. It's just framed around the photograph. Obviously, this one is Bobby Witt Jr. and his rookie card. I still need about 10 cards out of this set. I'll have them all up on my tradingcarddatabase.com. I usually don't try and buy things like this until 5 years later or so, if I want to complete a set that way, because by then the price will drop down to like nothing. These cards, all of these cards, these parallels fall down to like $1. When you just wait a couple years, they'll fall in price because nobody cares anymore after about 5 years, other than people who are collecting for sets like I am. Another thing I picked up recently and showed off recently, I showed off the Classic Best 1991 set last week, and I mentioned that the 1992 had many more parallels, so I decided to start collecting those parallels, and I got 3 in the mail this past week. So the minor league cards had blue and red parallels. Some of them did. So here's the blue and the red. The red, I believe, had 20 cards. Bonus card number 11. This is Aaron Seeley. The blue had, one of them had 30, one of them had 20. I think the blue had 30 and the red had 20. Here is Carlos Delgado blue and the Aaron Seeley blue. So I got both parallel versions of that, but I certainly have a long way to go to finish these sets because I just started and these are the first 3 I've acquired. I didn't want to go out and buy the set. I'm not that interested in it. I'll just slap it up on the tradingcarddatabase.com and check it out as it goes forward. When I get bored, I'll slap another one up. Maybe I'll search it out on my own, And lastly, update on a PC or a PSA set registry I'm working on. I've highlighted these cards many times now. Here's another one from my registry. 1959 Topps Johnny Callison rookie. This is for my all-time greats, all-time Phillies greats PSA set registry. Johnny Callison, you can see, started with the White Sox, but he was a star for us in '64. In fact, I believe he got the 1964 All-Star Game MVP by hitting a walk-off home run for the National League that year. And he was certainly a member of our, 64 team that should have gone to the World Series but collapsed. I always regret not knowing a lot about baseball in my youth because I lived in an area, the suburbs of Philadelphia, where a lot of great ball players, certainly Phillies players, lived locally, and you could have interacted with them before this is before the huge craze in baseball. And Johnny Callison worked at a bar in my town, and I had no clue that who he was or that he even was that close. So I probably could have got my dad or my mom to take me to get Johnny Callison's autograph, but I never did. So anyway, this is one more card for my PSA set registry. Again, I'm trying to get 9 this year, finish up with, out of the 34 that are required, I'm trying to get to about 28 or so. So that's just another one for that great thing. I'm still also working on getting the Larry Boa card I picked up a week or 2 ago freed up. It's somebody else is still claiming it as the fact that they own it, even though it's in my hands now, so I can't add it to my registry, but I'm happy to have the Callison one now. So those are some more mail day pickups for y'all. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget the trivia question to get a chance. Hope to see you on Sunday when we go through that. Appreciate everybody who joins in. You know, I try my best to support everybody. I've been really enjoying the national videos last week. Uh, really going to try and get to Cleveland there, but you know, things happen. We will wait and see next year. So there you have it. Please consider like, subscribe, and commenting and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. Let's keep it going and growing. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Stop by again Wednesday and Friday for more great trivia and prizes. And see you then. Take care.